So today we are going to discuss about the Jamovi software. Jamovi is a very popular software which is used in the field of data science and data analysis. Now I am going to explain all the features of Jamovi software and how to upload data in Jamovi software, how to perform regression, how to perform um, descriptive statistics, how to perform or how to find out the descriptive statistics from the Jamovi software. I am going to look after all of that. So at first, what you have to do, you have to install the Jamovi software. For that, you have to just simply write Jamovi download. After clicking on the Jamovi download, as you can see, my Jamovi is opening. Now then there will be some options here. You will open the first link, and after clicking on the first link there will be two versions available, 2.3.28 solid or 2.6.13 current. You may download any of these versions. Both of these versions are quite similar. So after installing Jamovi, you will find it in your desktop, and let me open Jamovi. So as I have already installed Jamovi, so I can now open it. Now after opening Jamovi, this type of interface will be opened. Now this is the interface that you will get. Now for working with a different type of data sets, at first I will be discussing about the CSV files, how to import a CSV file into Jamovi software. So at first let me create a CSV file and then I will import it. So for that I will open Notepad. You may also import CSV files from internet also. You may download or install CSV files and then import it directly to Jamovi. That is also available. But I want to create a dataset and show it to you from the raw level, that how to import dataset. Then I will also show you that how to import dataset from the internet directly from. So basically, let me open a new notebook. Okay, so basically I am going to create a CSV file here, and at first I am going to give my column names, which are name, marks, and Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay, and basically in CSV all of the data points are separated by comma. The full form of CSV is comma separated values. So all of the data points will be separated by comma, and then the first student, or the name of the first student, is A. Full marks is 10, and he got 1 in question 1, he got 2 in question 2, he got 3 in question 3, and he got 4 in question 4. That's how it makes up 10. The student 2, or the student B, got the marks of 11, and he got, suppose, 2 in question 1, 3 in question 2, 5, and 5 in question 3, and 1 is 1 in question 4. Similarly, we have another student named as student C, who got 3 in question 1, who got total 10 marks, or total by 15 marks, and now in those 15 marks he got 5 in question 1, 7 in question 2, 2 in question 3, and 1 in question 4. Similarly, there is another student who is named as D, who got total 30 marks, and in those 30 marks who got 1 in question 1, 20 in question 2, 5 in question 3, so that becomes 26, and 4 in question 4. So that's how I have created a dataset in CSV format. Now I will basically save it as text or test.csv. You have to just add the csv.csv to encode it. Now if I save it, it will be saved as test.csv. okay. Now basically I have saved it. Let me save it. Okay, so as you can see, it is already saved. Just I want to save it in the desktop, test.csv, and I want to save it in the desktop. Now it is saved in the desktop. Now I will close my notepad. Now what will I do? I basically want to import this dataset from my desktop. So for that I have opened my Jamovi, and now I will open this part, this three dot. Then I will basically want to open, and what will I want to open? I will basically uh, willing to I am willing to open from the desktop. Okay, so for that there is an option given here, browse. You have to click on this browse options, and then from the desktop you may select the dataset that you want to import. So my dataset is test. As you can see, this is the dataset. Now as I can the dataset is already uploaded here in Jamovi, so I can see my entire dataset with the name of the students and marks and Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. All of this is given to me. Okay, you can create a larger version of this interface also by taking the arrows. Now um, if I want to make any transformation in the variable, then I will basically click on this data, and after clicking on this data I may click on this transform variable. So in this option of transformed variable, you can actually change the name of any variable. Suppose the first column name is suppose I want to operate on this column on Q1, and I want to change the name of the column, that I want to make it question 1. In the place of Q1 I want to make it question 1. Now if I just apply this, okay, so what will happen, that if I apply this, as you can see, the column has become question 1. This column is not required, so I may just delete it, delete the column name 2. Okay, I can delete it by this method also. Now the first column has changed. By this way you can actually change the name of the column. Now in the similar way, suppose I want, in the transformed variable I have changed the name of the variable. Now okay, so basically you can add variables or delete also by this method. Now in this way you can see the data also. Now the question that is arising here, that if I want to say that I want to do any kind of operations on the data sets, then I can actually take this filter option, and by applying this filter options I can actually give any kind of operations. Suppose in the filter option, by applying the filter option, suppose I want to see that whether any of these data points or any of the marks is actually having 15 or not. Okay, so for that I will give marks, which is the name of the column, which is the third column. That is, I just want to know that any of the mark is 15 or not. So that for that I have to give double equals to. So I will just give marks equals to 15, and if I apply, as you can see, the column in which marks have 15, or the row in which the marks is basically 15 is being shown to me. So by this method I can actually see the row in which the marks is 15. Similarly, if I again want to filter, suppose I want to create a filter on Q2. Okay, so basically suppose I want to see that there are these are the variables open to me. Okay, so suppose I want to create a filter on Q3. Okay, so in Q3, suppose I want to say that is any 2 present in Q3. Okay, so Q3, which is my name of the column, equals to 2. Now if I apply this, what will happen? You can see that there is a 2 present in Q3, which is being underlined here by the help of the arrow. Okay, now By this method we can do some transformations in the Jamovi software, and there are some other methods also available. Suppose you have a very large amount of data set. In that data set, if you want to find out some specific values, then this method is very helpful in Jamovi. Now suppose I want to create labels. Okay, now for creating labels, suppose at first let me start with the name variable. In the name variable, suppose I want to give Ram in place of A. I want to give Krishna in place of B, and I want to give Rahim in place of C, sorry, or I want to give just EW in place of C, and I want to give M in place of D. So if I add labels to it, basically labels are not for this type of purposes, but still if I want to apply this, and as you can see, the names have changed of the data set. The names have changed, and we now have the data in which we may see that it is now Ram, Rahim, Krishna, and EW and Rahim. Okay, so by this method we can also actually apply any kind of transformation. Suppose marks, in the column marks, suppose I want to do any kind of filtration. Suppose the student 1 got 10, so I just want to say that if the number is 10, then convert it as good, and if the number is 11, then convert it in average. If the number is suppose 15, convert it to very good, and if the number is 13, then you should convert it to excellent. Okay, so by this method you can actually convert. Now as you can see, marks have converted into good, average, very good, and excellent as it is. So by this way you can actually label your data also. Okay, so now suppose there is a repetition of data. In this cases I don't see any repetition in the data. Let me check with the repetition. Suppose I want to operate with this question 1, and I want to do any kind of change in my data. So suppose in the transform variable I want to change my question 1, and in question 1 suppose what kind of change, is there any kind of transformation that I want to apply. So basically we may just create a new variable from the question 1. Okay, similarly that new variable is also created here. As you can see, question 1 is being repeated in the column also. If you want to delete this, then you can delete column 1. By this way you can delete it. Okay, now this is some basic operations of Jamovi. Now if you want to pin any data point, then what is the advantage of pin? Let me tell you. Let me redo some things. So this was my actual data set. Now what is pins? Pins is, suppose if I want to do pin to this data set, and then this data set will never be lost. Okay, so as you can see, if I pin these points, now even if I delete this column, even if I delete this, somehow is lost. Suppose there is no 2, no 3, no 7, and no 20. So this data set, these points are lost, and if I go, as you can see, when I am coming to Q2, these points are being already shown here, so I can see my data points. But if it was not pinned, then it was obviously it won't be shown here. Now as you can see, 4 and 1 is not pinned here, so I can just remove these data points, and if it is deleted by any chance, if you come to Q4, you can see there is no labels, the data points has not any record. Okay, so basically in this way we can what is the advantage of pinning the data? It won't be lost. Okay, and what is the help of labels? Suppose 1, so if there is 1, that means that performance is bad, very bad. So I will just assign bad in place of 1 and good in place of 4. So as you can see, when the first one is 4, that means it is supposed to be good. The remaining 2 is supposed to be bad and the last one is supposed to be good again. So if I apply this filter, what will happen? You can see the filter is being applied. So by this method we can give labels to different values. Greater values we can give good labels, lesser values we can give bad labels or lower labels. So this is how you can operate with data sets. Now let me import some data set. Okay, so I just want to import a special import. You can just browse by data set, and suppose I want to import this data set of COVID-19 India. Okay, so this is a very famous data set of COVID-19 India, and I hope this data set is being imported here. Okay, yes, this is the dataset, COVID-19 datasets. We have some columns, and we have almost 801 rows, and we have almost couple of columns, right? Okay. So this older dataset is not being removed, that's why it is showing in this form. Let me create a new file, new Jamovi um, interface, and by that, after that, I will specially import this, and by this browsing option I will import this dataset. Let me open this insurance. There are multiple datasets by which I can run. Let me work with Bengaluru house data. So as you can see, that dataset is being imported, and okay, so now if I want to perform any operations with this dataset, okay, so basically the methodology that we can use to perform operations with this dataset. So what will be this methodology? If you want to explore the dataset, if you want to do any kind of exploration with the dataset, if you want to find out the descriptives of the dataset, okay, so for finding out the descriptives of the dataset, you may go to the analysis option, and you may click on the exploration option, and after clicking on the exploration option, you will click on the descriptives option. After creating the descriptives options, it will actually give you the name of the variables. Okay, so suppose I want to find out that total square, I want to operate on total square feet column, and if I create the total square feet column is giving me the n and standard deviation, all that. Let me operate with the size column. So it is not giving me mean. Probably there is some problem with this entire dataset. Okay, let me compute with some another dataset. I feel that will be much more easier. This dataset is not looking something which I wanted. Let me work with the test dataset. Okay, let me import the dataset at first. So suppose I want to operate with this. Okay, let me open with this browse Excel access, and let me operate with this data. Okay, so it is being imported here. Now in this data, it doesn't look good. Okay, still it is better than the other data. We have 13 rows, and we have GDP per capita, and we have foreign direct investment in the net sense. Okay, so basically if I want to explore this, okay, so if I want to find out any exploration, so I want to find out the descriptives. So I want to find out the descriptive on D column. Suppose no, it is not giving some, it is giving some missing values. Okay, I'll leave this. Let me operate with the dataset that I have created. I feel I have to look after these datasets. Let me operate with this test dataset. Okay, let me open a new interface, and let me import the test dataset which is here already. So as you can see, I have imported the test dataset, and it has the values name, marks, and q1, q2, q3, q4. Okay, now if I want to see the exploration and if I want to see the descriptives, then suppose I want to find out the descriptives of marks, and it will give me all the things that there is no missing value, there are total sample sizes 4, mean and median and standard deviation and minimum value and maximum value, all of this will be given. Suppose you want to see it from the multiple, suppose I want to see all of these columns, okay, then if you add it, the next column will also be added. Similarly, in the similar way, if I want to find out the q2 column, then that will be also be added. Okay, similarly you can split it, okay, also that is also available. Now if I click the statistics option, then you may customize the point. Okay, you can check for normality, you can check for distribution, kurtosis and all that. And if I distribute the plots, then you may add histogram, density, all of that, then all of that will also be shown here in Jamovi. As you can see, the histogram and density is also being shown. This is the density, this is the density, and this is the density. Okay, so this is the marks with this is the q3 and this is the q2. So this is basically the density. Similar way, if I want to see the histogram, this is the histogram. Okay, so basically in this way you can see histogram, density and all of the things. You can also check for the bar plots. So this is the way of looking into all of these things in Jamovi. You may apply all of these things very easily, and you will find all of these applications, I mean all of these applications very easily in Jamovi. So you may also copy it, this picture, this entire picture can be copied. Or the results, basically if I want to copy this result, so I may just copy it. Okay, so this can be copied and this can be pasted also wherever you want. You may want to paste it in the Word file or wherever you want to copy it. So this image can also be copied. Okay, so you can paste it in the Word file or in whatever you want to open it. So this is the introductory class of Jamovi, and I just wanted to show a couple of more things, but yes, let me try with some couple of more things. Let me open a new Jamovi interface, and I just wanted to import a new variable or a new dataset, which is a good dataset. I am searching for a good dataset. Suppose this matches.xlx, and we have a dataset in which we can see that there are, let me widen it a little bit. So this dataset is actually containing the IPL matches and the winners and match type and the team 1, team 2, toss winner, okay, and target runs and target overs. So I am just going to operate with these numeric columns, target runs and what is this? Let me show. So I'm just going to operate with this result margin and this super over, no, it's not super over, target runs and result margin. So if I want to see the exploration with this, I want to see the descriptives of this result margin and target runs. So as you can see, all of the number of observation, total number of observation, missing values, mean, median, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, all is given. Similarly, I may also see the method, no, not winner, result will not give me a value. Basically this is the descriptives of result margin. So I may also apply this to target runs. So if I apply this to target runs, then that is also given. The mean, median, mode, standard deviation, all is given. Now if I want to customize it, suppose I want the mode and sum and all of that, then you can customize it, and all of this will be added to your Jamovi software. Similarly, I may also want variance, range, IQR, all of this, kurtosis, skewness. Okay, all of this can be customized. In similar way, you may also check it for normality. The Shapiro will test, you may apply it. Okay, so all of these things can be done in Jamovi, using Jamovi. In similar way, you may also apply for outliers. Extreme values are will be shown. What is the highest value? As the highest value is value 146, so in that is the highest number of runs by which uh, a team won a match. Okay, and similarly the lowest number of runs by which a team won a match is 1. Okay, so that is very easy. And in target runs, what is the highest value of runs which was given target? So that is 264, which was scored by RCB. So that is the highest number of runs scored by a team. So that was the highest target given in IPL history. Similarly, this is the concept of Jamovi, and we can also see it with the bar plots and all that. So let me create some plots also, so that you will easily understand it, that how to import from a dataset and how to work with the dataset. I just want histogram and density and bar plot. So as you can see, just you have to plot it and it is very easy. Jamovi will give you all of that. So result margin doesn't look like to be normally distributed. It is rather looking like to be a Pareto distribution, or you may also call it not a Pareto distribution. It looks like kind of log normal distribution, rightly skewed. And target runs, it is looking like a perfect normal distribution. As you can see, the target runs, as I see it, it is a perfect normal distribution. I mean, it is very hard to find this type of normal distribution in real. It is a very good example of normal distribution. Similarly, I have created probably these are the densities and histograms shown in the same way. Basically, density is nothing but if we connect the points of the midpoints of the histogram, then we are getting the densities. Some similar way, if I want the bar plots also, then you can see we have the bar plots here. Okay, so this is way, in this method you can actually add variables and see the results. So this is the first class of Jamovi, and in the next class we are going to deal with how to open RStudio in Jamovi and operate with that. Thank you for today's class.